your girl, Jenny Russell, with another edition of Health Elevation Corner. I hope, like me, you too remember that you are blessed and highly favored, a magnet for miracles, the solution to someone's problem, and the answer to someone's prayer. And today, I really do hope this week I am the answer to the prayer to all those men and women out there that are suffering from a simple case of not letting go. Yeah? Not letting go. What am I talking about? I'm talking about constipation. I'm talking about being full of doo-doo. I'm talking about holding on and not allowing ourselves to let go. So basically, constipation, what is it? It's the inability for the bowels to open and empty the waste. So literally what we have food. We're supposed to eat food, assimilate and extract the nutrients, and chuck out the waste. So if you eat 3 meals a day, you're supposed to eat 3 meals, take 3 lots of nutrients, chuck out 3 lots of waste. If you eat 1 meal, 1 lot of nutrients, chuck out 1 lot of waste. But most people, that train to the toilet doesn't seem to call any time on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday or Friday, maybe just at the weekend. It's a weekend thing. That's a problem. It really is a problem right there. This is going to be a short, sharp video, but it's to the point, and I really hope it helps somebody and makes somebody think about what's happening. So, a compacted colon can weigh as much as 10 to 14, maybe even in some cases more than 14 pounds. It's 14 pounds in a stone. That's 6-7 kilos that you've got there, 6 kilos of waste compacted inside of you that isn't shifting. And you have to think really that the pelvis is really this little basin like so, that's just sitting there at the base of the trunk, and everything sits on top of it. In females, obviously the reproductive organs are right there, the uterus is right there, but our bladder and bowel is right there. So we have literally, if this is the back, this is the front, then we have the rectum, the bowel here, we have the uterus in the middle, we have the bladder at the front. For men, obviously that bit in the middle is not there, and the pelvis is smaller, it's much narrower. So what you've got to think for us as females is, if the colon becomes compacted, then the compacted colon will do what? Expand. So an expanded, compacted colon is then going to push onto the uterus. That's going to then push onto the bladder. So for those of you who struggle with being able to hold your urine, also look at what's happening with your bowel movements. Because if you're holding on, you're stressing out your uterus and thus stressing out your bladder. That's just a point to note. It is kind of a good point to note. If you're of a younger age, then you have to think that every organ goes through, and I've said this a few times, expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction. That is the life force, the vitality, and the youthfulness of your organs. If you keep having a compacted colon that's expanding and pressing against the uterus, and you have poor breath quality, and you have poor movement ability, then actually that can have an adverse effect on the integrity and the quality of your uterus, much less the integrity and the quality of your bladder. So these are just a point to note just there and then. For guys, obviously there is no uterus to worry about, but it can still have an adverse effect on, well, it can actually have an effect on the prostate gland, but also affect on the bladder. So these are just points that we should note. That's just those organs on their own. But also, a compacted colon is also a dehydrated colon. So a dehydrated colon, compacted colon, and then if the colon is dehydrated, then it stands to reason that the body's pretty dehydrated as well. And what the body will do is, if we don't take in enough water, now listen to this really carefully, really carefully. If you don't take in enough water, the body will extract whatever water is inside of your feces to feed itself. So just Salah. Pause and think about that. That's just not even a good look right there. So you've got to think about that. So digestive habits happen. So all of these videos, literally, they go back to the same place. It's like a stuck record. It goes back to creating that cephalic response, drinking a glass of water half an hour before, increase the digestive enzymes in the body, the hydrochloric acid, the 1.9 pH acid that you want to have in your stomach. That's what you want to do. You want to literally drink your food. Dark meat, red meat. You want to literally chew your food until it turns to a liquid so the body can extract the nutrients much easier, and then it can send the waste. And if it can do that in a good environment, it will push it out. But it's also important to note that breath is life force energy. Now, I spoke with a wonderful lady that's the feature on my radio show, UK Health Radio, Her Health and Happiness, for this week. And it's just literally breath, right? The beauty of breath. Now, Nevsa has been studying, and she's a breath scientist for over 25 years. And it was a really fantastic interview. So you'll find that interesting. What the really important thing to note is that your breath controls all the chemical processes in your body. And so the environment inside the body is really controlled by the breath, the quality of the breath, the diaphragmatic breath, the rate of excursion, the pliability, the flexibility of the diaphragm, which then helps to create the natural rocking motion of all the organs underneath, which is the life force and the vitality of those organs, and helps to push through things through. So that's what we need to really be aware of. You need to eat fibrous foods. Now, they will tell you to eat lots of pasta and rice and those kind of fiber foods, but you have to know there's loads of fiber inside of your greens, your spinach, your kales. So lots of those foods have a natural fibers. There's good fibers in pineapples. There's good fibers in many fruits. You just need to be eating foods that are fibrous but are not calorie dense. What happens is what we call caution carbs, right? Your rice, your rice, even a lot of your potatoes, bananas as well. A lot of the things, a lot of the dried the legumes as well can be very, very once they're cooked, their glycemic index is high, which means the ability to turn to sugar becomes very high very quickly. So whilst you believe that if you eat lots of starchy foods, it means it's going to help you, not really. If your body and the environment in your body, because everybody's individual, is not designed to be able to assimilate those foods well, then all you're going to do is create an insulin spike as opposed to create a movement. And it's also important to note the quality of the type of stool that you're releasing. Now, I am going to post a picture in this video, which is courtesy of the Czech Institute. I'm a Czech professional. It's a PDF that we're allowed to use with our clients, and I will have it referenced for Paul Czech because it's not mine, but it will just show you the poopy policeman lineup. And it's really important for us to understand, what the quality of our stool is saying about who we are. A flashing doo-doo is telling us we've got diarrhea. Short stinker sinker is telling us that we really need to look at our detoxification system and our digestive health. So all of these things, different types of stool tell you different types of things. You can contact me at Pelvic Secrets if you want to get me on Instagram or on Twitter, or you can find me, Jenny Russell, on LinkedIn, or you can send me an email, pelvicsecrets@iCloud, and I'll give you a bit more information about really what your stool may be saying about you. But if you are constipated, is it a nutritional reason why you're constipated? Is it a hormonal reason why you're constipated? Is it an emotional reason why you're constipated? The inability to forgive, the ability to hold on, actually locks itself down in our root chakra and locks itself right down there into that eliminatory organ. So what you may find is that you are literally holding on to, because whatever's happened to you in the past, whoever hurt you, it's a toxic situation. Your waste is toxins, or amalgamated, ready to leave you. So you've got toxins with toxins. Your toxic thoughts can have a toxic impact on your toxins within your bowel to the point where it can actually stay. And a backed up colon will back up. It will back up, and it's going up. And above it is your kidneys, your liver, and your organs that are trying to detox. So they're trying to detox, and you're intoxicating them with the stuff you won't let go of. If you don't drink enough water, not sugary drinks, you're in trouble. You eat the right amount of fats with your proteins, so you're able to break the proteins down well. And the two things together help to stop your carbohydrates turning to sugars too early in the body. Now, once you understand that you can get a lot of your fiber from your broccoli, from your Brussels, from your pak choy, from your spinach, from your kale, those foods can actually give you the fiber that you need. You can do that in a juice. When you juice, it's the pulp that has the fiber that's going to help you. So if you're making smoothies, if you're juicing and just extract the juice, yes, you've got more nutrients in there, but you haven't got the fiber. So therefore, you may find yourself bunged up, nutrient rich, but not able to shift. But when you're making smoothies, when you're keeping the pulp, that's where you're going to have the ability to have that fiber maybe more readily available for you, and that will help you. If you do find yourself really quite constipated and you're not getting the fiber to use from the greens, notice I'm talking about greens here, right? Then psyllium husk is a short, tiny solution. But if you've got good digestive health, it helps with breath. So, I tell my clients after they finish eating, 2 minutes. 5 seconds in. 5 seconds out. It helps to balance the parasympathetic and the sympathetic pathways. Remember, the parasympathetic is restore, rebuild, refresh, and revitalize. That's what you want. Repair, restore, rebuild, refresh. And you want that pathway to be awake. That's the pathway that also says life is really great. We can digest really well. We can empty ourselves really well. We can sleep really well. Everything's really cool. The other pathway says, what is going on here? We need to, stop digesting. We ain't got time. Shift the oxygen from the organs, shift it to the muscles because we've got something to do. So this is what you've got to be aware of. Once you're aware of those two things, you're able to change things around. But I hope that helps somebody. I hope you really find it useful. If you want any more information, I really am happy to help you. pelvicsecrets@icloud.com. Pelvic Secrets on Instagram and Twitter. But until next week, remember you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Don't add an extra stone to your weight. Don't have a distended belly. Don't push and upset the vitality of your uterus or your bladder or even your posture. And don't cause yourself hemorrhoids because they really ain't a good look. Eat, assimilate, release. Yeah? Fat Freddy, 6 to 12 inches, medium brown, easy to pass, floats on top, normal doo-doo smell, don't need a gas mask. Flush away once, not offensive. Until next week. This is Jenny saying, have a good one. Empty well.